Welcome everyone to your September monthly zodiac reading. So this is messages from Spirit for the month of September for each zodiac sign. Also remember to watch for your sun, moon and rising just to get a bigger picture of the overall energies that might be around you this month. Remember, allow your intuition to guide you. This is your reading, so apply the energies where and how they resonate in your life. Let's get started. Hello Virgo, welcome to your monthly reading for the month of September. So your overall energies, we have sail away and bloom. Additional messages with the Oracle, we've got habits and rewards. And with the Tarot, we've got the Seven of Cups, the Seven of Pentacles and the Knight of Pentacles. Now I really feel that with both these sevens, you've probably heard me say this many times before in my readings if you follow me, Virgo, but we're working a 7 year this year, so 2023 is a 7 year, and I feel with both these sevens and with the Knight of Pentacles turning his back to these sevens, I think that you're moving in a new direction, or I feel that the rest of 2023 will be closing off. Spirit didn't like that. Closing up, finalizing. Thank you, Spirit. Much better word. Thank you, Spirit. Finalizing loose threads. Okay, so there is an importance in our life that we often don't recognize. We often have people that come back into our life. We often have situations that we thought were long gone and then suddenly bang, they come back. And I've had a situation recently, which I won't share with you, Virgo, if you don't mind, where I got a very strong feeling that I needed to do the right thing and close this situation off properly, with love, no anger, no disdain, but just close the situation off with love. And I really feel for you, Virgo, very strongly, that the month of September, but I feel this is going to carry on through until the end of the year, until the end of this year, 2023, that you are going to get the opportunity, or you will be closing things off as you go properly. Spirit's just said to me, what does that mean? Virgo, what that means is that you don't leave loose threads. If, let's use the example of a job, and you feel guilty about leaving, you found yourself a new job and you feel guilty about leaving, your old boss, in the lurch, and you just kind of want to, be open, be kind, not be open, thank you, Spirit, but be kind and be, show that you care, show that you know that you exiting the job has created difficulty for the workers that are there or your boss. So when you leave, you say, look, this is my email address, call me anytime you need help. I'll come in and I'll fill in, and you leave and you think to yourself, oh, that I feel really good about that. I've showed them that I care and they won't call me. And then, you know, 3 months down the track, they call you. And you're like, what? And there's this thing of, oh, now I have to I'm reconnected with them. So instead of having this, and I'm not saying that everybody's clear cutting everything, but instead of having this smooth, thank you very much for all the opportunity, and moving forward with your life, you've kind of dragged the past behind you and it's caught up with you. So now you will need to close it off properly, or you might find you have a foot both in your past and in your future for a while until you can do that. But there is a sense here that Spirit is telling me this is to help you see how important it is to close things off. And this could be in anything. It could be in relationships, it can be in habits, it can be in maybe you're a chocoholic and you love your chocolate, and you've said to yourself, maybe like, I'm just not going to eat like that anymore, I'm putting on weight, I'm so disappointed with myself, and I'm just not going to eat chocolate on weekdays or whatever it is, and you've left it at that. There's almost this sense that in September your need for chocolate is going to hit you so hard that you go back to it like you never left it. And with that, it's a little bit trickier to see how you could have closed that off better. But the way Spirit is showing it to me, it wasn't closed off with love. It was closed off in frustration with yourself, hating yourself, your body image, or just hating how weak you are that you keep eating chocolate when you don't want to be. And so there's this, probably for want of a better word, maybe a lack of acceptance there. It's been done, if you can pick up the energy of maybe angrily or begrudgingly, so then it'll crop up. So you can actually say, do you know what? This is not what you're going to say, but this is just to give you, this is just an example, Virgo, just so you can picture, have some concrete idea of what we're talking about here. You might say to yourself, you know what? I really love chocolate, and I'm just going to be mindful of how much I eat. I'm just going to be mindful. But I love chocolate. And I understand that, it makes me hyper. It's not good for me. And then there's an acceptance and a letting go there. There's no pushing away. There's no forcing. There's no anchoring down of this is what I'm doing. And that allows the universe to just take, because there's no hold on it. There's no, I've got to kind of keep my hands on the door to stop this thing from coming back. Do you know what I mean? So then the minute you relax, it'll come back. Okay, thank you, Spirit. Spirit's just said to me, understand. So that's something that's really coming through. The lead on from that is the Knight of Pentacles, and that is looking and planning in a different direction. So there is this sense of really closing things off so you can move things forward. Also that you can stop having, like with that first image of work, 1 foot in the past, 1 foot in the present. Okay. Spirit just said to me, we're coming back to the tarot. There is more messages. But that's the initial message that came to me. So your first overall energy, Virgo, is sail away. And it says the heart knows when it is time for progress. Your inner wisdom knows what to leave behind and the important things to take with you. And the affirmation is, I am free to move on with peace. Gosh, that's really a little bit what we touched on, wasn't it? And it was, we touched more on how to leave things behind, making sure that you do finalize things properly, that you don't leave that door half ajar, especially if you don't want to. Sometimes we do want that door ajar. We don't, maybe we want to have less interaction with this person or with this situation at this point in time because our health, or we're extra busy at work, or we've got other life things that take us a little bit away, but we don't want to shut that door. You know, so it is understanding the difference, differentiating. Sorry, Spirit, I butchered that word. Between the two, you know, understanding the difference between the two, knowing how to apply, when to apply one over the other. I love the affirmation on this card. I am free to move on with peace. We are free to move on with peace. We are allowed to move on from situations, people, places with love and peace. Our present world, our present group, where our world places importance at the moment seems to be on longevity. It seems to be on the length of time that we're in things, as opposed to how much we loved that thing while it lasted. So that creates, when we need to move on from things, it creates disappointment, and it creates a sense of failing that we don't often talk about. And with this Seven of Pentacles, Virgo, if during this month of September, and I feel that your reading, this September reading, really shows like the energy for the rest of the year for you, give or take a little bit, but I feel like it's going to move through the rest of 2023 for you. If you have a sense, if you feel a sense of having failed someone or being a failure yourself, repeat this affirmation to you. I am free to move on with peace. Changing our mind and acting on that change of mind is not a failure. It takes enormous amounts of courage and strength. And I think you are going to see that, Virgo. Then we've got bloom, and this is your other overall energy, and I feel you start with sail away and you move into bloom. It says your heart attracts all the support you need from the universe. Love yourself and you will see your intentions bloom into life. And the affirmation is, my faith seeds and cultivates the beautiful garden of my life. It takes, thank you, Spirit. You know, when we were just talking about failing and the enormous amount of courage and courage it takes to change one's mind and act on it. It takes faith. It takes a really big level of acceptance. I feel with your reading, Virgo, that I'm kind of seeing like a rosebud, because it's just such a beautiful analogy. And I'm seeing this beautiful rosebud that every time it starts to open, something from the past comes in and puts you right back where you started. And this can be tiny little things that you probably are not even aware of, or they could be big things. And there's this sense that you've got this stop-start kind of energy at the moment. And I think it's exhausting. I think it's got you thinking you don't know what you want. It's got you looking at everything that you do have and going, ugh, do I even want that anymore? And it's got you looking at things like, why is this so much effort? Because I believe, Virgo, that these things that keep coming back that haven't been closed off properly are not just things in the outer world that are coming back, though I think that they're numerous as well. But I think it's a lot of aspects of yourself. You've got habits. So I think it's a lot of old mindsets that there's new mindsets that have come in, but because you haven't reconciled the two, or because you haven't, and there's no should here, there's no, Spirit just brought to my attention my vocabulary. So thank you, Spirit. There's a sense here, Virgo, that when we have new ideas that come to us, when we have those downloads, just as we grow and we change, our perspective, our ideas, our beliefs and values change with that to a certain extent, depending on how big the changes are. And there's a sense that there is a level of understanding that needs to come with that. There is a sense of being aware of it. So you might find that, let's go to something very, very simple and very not really important as an example. The way that you dress. So you might every morning get ready, put your clothes on, and you might look at yourself and think, oh, not as in I don't like the way I look, but you're kind of thinking, oh, you know, I don't know if this colour's really me anymore. Or, you know, you might start to say, oh, you know, I always do my makeup the same way or my hair the same way. You know, so you're looking at yourself and you're realising something doesn't quite fit anymore. And we can spend months and months doing that. And what I mean here by gaining an understanding is when that happens, saying, okay, what don't I like about it? What am I bored with now? Or what do I look at and just think, that's not me, that doesn't resonate? Or do I think, oh, I'm just caught in a loop of habit, or I'm just doing what I've always done and you never really questioned it? Spirit's bringing me to the habits card. It says habits, and it says, to feel blissful and abundant, create and care for your personal boundaries around social media, screens, relationships and work. You simply cannot be available all the time to others, online or in person. Consciously create habits that nourish your senses, soothe your body and expand your energy. Do you know, I think sometimes I have so much difficulty reading because I channel as I read. So I was going to say, curiously, when you aren't so available to those people, that's when you will see what's important, which is not at all what the card said, but that's the message that came through as I was reading the card. There's a sense here, thank you, Spirit. So Spirit's drawing me to the word curious. There is a sense here, Virgo, when you feel like this. So this is like, I don't know what I want. You know, if a genie popped out of a bottle now and said 3 wishes, my friends, you would just look at the genie and go, I don't know. I don't know. What does everybody ask for? Money? Oh, I'll have money. I don't know. There's a sense of lack of inspiration. And I think it's because there's a sense here with this Seven of Pentacles that you're looking at what you're doing going, oh, I don't even remember why I'm doing this. I don't even remember the joy that this brought. But you're not, that's as far as you're taking that. You're not actually going, why do I feel that way? Okay, hang on a minute. I'm feeling like frustrated or resentment with an aspect of my life. Why am I feeling that way? Okay, do I not like my job? No, I like my job. Do I not like the people I work with? No, I like the people I work with. Well, not all the time, but they're all right. Keep breaking it down. There'll be something. It might come back to, there's too many hours. I don't have time to do other things. It's all about work. Or you might get down to, I like the job, I like the company, but there's a lack of sorry, I expected Spirit to bring me the word and it's on the tip of my tongue. There's a inspiration. There's a lack of, you know, that little bit of stress that just keeps us on our toes. It's almost like it's the same old, you know, but you're happy with the job. You just need a bit of spice. Getting curious will help you deep dive into that. And you've got rewards, and the card says, let the inner rewards along the journey be enough. If you are longing to be rewarded in other ways, you will never feel fully satisfied in the moment. Tune into how blessed you are to be connected to your heart, your purpose, and your journey. That's really interesting about what we were just talking about and how I said get curious. Some of you might be looking at what you're doing and going, they don't pay me enough. Nobody acknowledges what I do. That's kind of reward, isn't it? It's let the inner rewards along the journey be enough. If you are longing to be rewarded in any other way, you will never feel fully satisfied in the moment. This is interesting because some of you might be looking at things and that aspect of yourself that you need to close off is maybe feeling like there should be more acknowledgement in what you do. Maybe that acknowledgement needs to come from you, not others. Looking at maybe some of you might actually place a lot of your self-worth on the praise of others. And Spirit might be calling you to have a look at how do you praise yourself? And not even how do you praise yourself, thank you Spirit, but how can you improve your self-worth so that you're not turning towards that praise from others? Spirit's bringing me back. I was going to go down to the tarot and Spirit said to come back to the habits card. There is a sense here that there's a habit. Now that can be a habit of thinking, a habit like a physical habit that you have. And Spirit is kind of pointing to that by using the word habits. But Spirit's also saying to me, Virgo, that with habits we can go the other way as well. So there's a sense here of look at your habits, because there's a sense here of I'm getting habit and control. There's like how we spoke earlier about, you know, these habits that we don't want, and instead of accepting it and saying that is a part of me right now, I'm just going to be mindful, you're kind of trying to control it. And what that does is that gives that habit power. So I'm getting a sense here in your reading as well, Virgo, to look out where in your life or to who or whom you give your power to. That's a message that's coming through for some of you. I feel with this Seven of Cups, Virgo, you've got a lot of options in your life. You've got maybe choices, but I feel that these are probably still in the realm of, they haven't materialized yet, but you're kind of thinking, oh, you know what, I could do that, or I could do that, or I could do that. So I feel like there is a real opening up and a broadening of your perception on what is available to you or what you can actually do. And this can be aspects of yourself that are opening up to you, and also, you know, outer things in your world. I'm getting the sense here that now is not the time to choose. The reason why these options are coming up, and Spirit is really saying to me to really get across a message that these options are not in front of you. This is an option that is in front of you. This is an option that you have said, yes, thank you, and you're going to move on. These are in the clouds. So these are daydreams, these are dreams or goals, or, you know, you might be writing them down, you might be daydreaming about them. This is a time, those ideas, those dreams, those goals, that is what is opening you up. That is what is kind of there, Virgo, to show you maybe where these loose ties, or it might actually pinpoint loose ties that might actually stop you from moving forward on maybe a goal or a dream. So they're there as information. I feel like you're going to be getting a lot of information in the month of September. And that can be overwhelming in itself. You know, we've all been there where suddenly we've got so many ideas and no clue yet on how to move forward with them. You've got the Knight of Pentacles here. He's the slowest knight of the zodiac. He's basically still in the contemplation stage. He will move. He knows he's going to take action. He's in a position to take action, but as yet he hasn't taken any. And sometimes it can show that he's just being really, really thoughtful in the first step that he takes, and sometimes it can show procrastination or it can show fear to move forward. So these ideas, these goals and things like that that are going to be coming to you in the month of September, use them as knowledge. Use them as, oh, that's interesting. I'm going to look into that. I'm going to see. You know, you might be looking at, you know, I really want my soulmate to come in. I really want that romantic partner that we can build a solid I can build a solid foundation with and move forward in my life. And yet, you might still be seeing your ex on and off. That's a loose tie that hasn't been closed off. The idea, the download that you want this soulmate partnership kind of guides you to the ex that's 1 foot in, 1 foot out, might not be the right thing for you. So there is light that needs to be shed on that. There is you know, you need to look at that. That's another way where I see this bloom kind of, you just start to bloom and bang, an ex comes back in. And then you close again, because then you're kind of like, oh, could this, and that brings you back That's why you close. Whereas a new relationship in your future will further cause you to open because you're going forward. So the rose doesn't bloom backwards. It doesn't, you know, it blooms forward. So it opens as it goes through its life. And if you were to rewind that, it would close. I was just saying to Spirit, oh, thank you, I like that. And there's work to be done on that, Virgo. There's work to be done on looking at what this brings up, because it's going to illuminate. I feel like it's going to show you where in your tangible world and in your mind, your emotions and your feelings, where things aren't quite lining up for you to move forward. And I think that's why you've got the Knight of Pentacles. I think this Knight of Pentacles is, you know, all the cards have an upright and a reverse. I never read reverse because I channel, so Spirit will tell me, you know, it will guide me to read the reverse message. So basically the upright and the reverse of a card just means the light and the dark of a card, the positive and the negative of a card, because everything in the world has a contrast. So it's just the two contrasts of the meaning of a card. And here in your reading, I see the Knight of Pentacles is very much upright. There's this sense that he is very much aware that to move forward now would probably mean leading down the wrong path or making the wrong decision, because he's very aware that there is still stuff being dragged from the past with him. So he's just going to take a moment. He's just going to pause. He's got direction. He knows in what direction he's going to go in. There's no wishy-washiness about this. Is just stopped in the direction that then you can take forward on once your mind has cleared, once the path has cleared. And I think the path that you're clearing is just things from the past that no longer resonate. And this purely, Virgo, can be your own feelings and emotions. I'm going to leave you with those messages, my friends. Love, light and blessings, Virgo. Have a wonderful month, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.